KeSPA Cup, everybody. We are about to jump into our winners match here between our two Protoss players, Stats and Trap.
That is right, StarCraft fans. A Protoss versus Protoss decide which one of these guys will get out of the group in first place. And you know, the match points here really is they're pretty even in records. They're both stable players, and I think these are two real important things to say. I think the real story here, though, is this is kind of the match everyone expected to happen if Stats wins, because Trap goes, so he's probably prepared. And I do feel like Trap, even though he's great at defending, you know, and he's a very defensive player who can play late macro games, Stats is not going to attack him. You know, I mean, Stats knows how to play against this player, and I think Stats is, if you look at these two stable players, the more stable player of the two, and I think he's the big favorite here. Trap could pull off an upset, though. For him to get out of this group in first place would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty hard for him. You know, Stats has proven time and time again that his PvP is quite strong, and one of his strongest matchups for sure. So, you know, Trap definitely going up against a titan of PvP here. Map list here is Frozen Temple, King Salem Station, and Frost. So, a couple of the smaller maps we have, and then that big 4-player map in Frost.
All right, here we go. That 4-player map, I hope we get to it so we can see that, you know, late game decision-making out of both of these players that I love to see in PvP.
I hope so, man. Guys, the time has come. We're going to jump into game number 1 of Stats versus Trap.
얼어붙은 사원으로 떠납니다.
Welcome to Frozen Temple for game number 1. Down in the bottom right, in the purple, from KT Rolster, it is Stats.
And his opponent to the top left in green for the Generic Renewings, it is Trap. Most recent performance was defeating Zest, defending a Cannon Rush. And I don't think that Zest teammate Stats here will probably try to do that in this best of 3.
In fact, Stats bans New Gettysburg to show Trap that he's definitely not going to do anything like that.
Yeah, definitely a game that will long be remembered, I think, in StarCraft 2 history. For those of the fans that are hardcore and watch the Korean scene, definitely remember that one for sure. And we're going to see early scouts from both players, and the 2 gates go up. Very normal openings here. We won't really know until the Cybernetics cores get done once for variation, but we will see.
Yeah. And just want to reiterate for you guys that are watching in this early game of PvP, go ahead and get on Twitter, hashtag KeSPA Cup, with any of your comments, your questions. You know, if it's a question, maybe it'll be featured here. Maybe we can get that answered by asking some of the players that win. You know, we've seen it scrolling at the bottom of, you know, the interviews in the past, in the last couple of days, so maybe your comment can be featured there as well. You just got to go on Twitter and hashtag KeSPA Cup.
I do tell people about the stream. I know it's not on Twitch, and so that's kind of where people are used to watching Korean StarCraft 2, but not for this tournament, so get them on the esports TV site. All you have to do is say youtube.com/esportstv. There's a direct link you can link as well, but once you go to the esports TV, you can choose between the Korean stream or the English stream. Of course, if you're listening to me, probably the choice is obvious. You would choose the English stream, but if you have a Korean friend you want to show this to, you can also watch it in Korean. And on Twitch, we do have the O Gaming stream in French, so 3 languages, and yeah.
Yep, there you go. I think we covered it. So we do have a Twilight Council coming up here for Stats, I believe that is, in the bottom right. And you know, both these players just going pretty heavy on the Stalker production. Trap hasn't shown any tech yet, so maybe he wants to go for a earlier expand here.
And they both went full Stalker, playing the Adepts out, and Blink on the way here for Stats. So he's going to be very aggressive, even with a 4-pound, may even just all in here and add a fast warp gate, so you get that kind of quick warp. We'll see what he does here. This is going to be tough to scout, unfortunately, for Trap.
Look at the timing of that probe scout. I think Trap may get in there. He might slip in.
That would be huge. Well, he's definitely going to scout that there's no Nexus, at least. I think a Stalker is coming down. Oh,
well,
sees this. He can just click on that. No. So that was great timing there. The Stalkers come back and miss the probe as well. He gets out. Sees the Nexus timing of his opponent. Knows there's only one pylon there. And now we're going to find out if he wants to add that forward gateway. I don't think he will, based on the fact that he added the Nexus is not as all in. With this Nexus that's coming down, a lot of transition ability. We'll kill this probe, which is going to give him a little bit of peace of mind coming up here. The probe comes home, so definitely no quick warp. Should use that pylon, it will be slow warp-ins they can use here to attack. 6 Stalkers to 6 with the overcharge, but obviously Blink Micro is going to be very important. And don't forget that if Stats continues to attack but is doing less and less damage, the Immortal will come out too, which is going to be a big problem.
Look at the positioning there for Trap. He has all of his units way back. He's got his Mothership Core on the high ground just to make sure that it does not get sniped or blinked under. He sees a large number of Stalkers in the game, so maybe he's like, yeah, Blink's a possibility. He's going for his own Blink now.
And that's going to be very helpful for counterattacking if he holds this. I think holding this will be relatively easy. He just needs that first Immortal out, and it should be on its way here. Overcharge, baited out early. The Immortal is about to come out. And once he has that, I just can't imagine Stats finding any more damage here. He's trying to be aggressive. Oh my god, he really wants that Stalker. He's trying so hard to get it. Whoa. He's not going to. Takes more damage on his end. Good micro there. Pretty slick stuff, but there's no high ground vision. He can't harass, he can't poke. Maybe he gets a pylon? No, I don't even think he can do that.
Yeah, I think this is very easily held. I mean, there's going to be 2 more overcharges by the time this one goes down. And he can just hold there with the Immortal. He does have DTs on the way.
Trying to grab that Immortal. It's obviously costing a lot of hit points. And the PvP units are so quick that they do damage so quickly, kill each other so quickly. Having half of your hit points gone is a big deal. And it's like one less Immortal shot to kill your Stalkers. Look at this. I think Trap wants to really put on some serious counter pressure with the tech advantage he's going to have. He's going to have his own Blink plus the Immortals. So that's obviously going to be very powerful.
Yeah. The only thing here for Trap is that he doesn't really know what the follow-up is.
But he's about to find out. This is crazy, this scout right now.
Trap is just so good with his defense. You were talking about it would probably be a good idea not to attack Trap. Well, this is the reason. He sees everything.
He's just one of the best defensive players. He always has been. And that's why I'm a bit surprised not only at this, but what Marine Lord chose to use against him earlier. This is only one pylon here. And he has 2 observers. He needs to get them over here. I think he's just now realizing that this is DTs. He scouted, but he didn't see the DTs warped in. They were hidden inside the prism. So in Trap's defense, there's no way he could have known. He's actually just going to counterattack and let these DTs go. The observer is unpowered here. He has 2 observers on the map, though. One should be back soon, right? Where is it?
Yeah, where is that? Look at this. There's 2 pylons over here. You can focus them both down very quickly.
And he's going to get them both, I think. Back at home, there's 2 pylons here with overcharges, a lot of force field energy. I think he defended that back at home. That was like the quickest split-second camera shot we had. Okay, did defend that. And this attack, I mean, he really needs to do a lot of damage with it. He's down 12 workers right now.
I don't think he's going to be able to. He kills one of the pylons here, but definitely a lot of energy on the Mothership Core of Stats here, and he can just play it very carefully. He's even going to try to snipe an Immortal, does half his health and damage.
Pops the barrier too. Good barrier usage though by Trap to save that. In just a moment, he can come back in with the DTs for more harassment as well. They both survive. They're both still in that prism. And even if he keeps units at home to defend against the DTs, that means less units here to attack. So the prism is very powerful in that way. Looks like he's going to send his own prism in for some adept harass in the main base, try to split the army in 2. As I say, he sends his main army back. Just wants to do some drop damage here with these adepts and then get out. So nice little move here. Only gets 2 probes. And back at home, it looks like he put his Chrono back onto the next side and has been making probes nonstop and has caught up in workers, so very impressive.
Oh, trying to get that War Prism. He does get it and has an observer over here, so he's going to shut down that DT drop very nicely. And looks like now Stats is moving out a bit to take this 3rd base. He has an observer over there scouting the 3rd base timing of Trap, which is not on the way.
Stats also made a Templar Archives. So I'm guessing based on his resources that he's banked right now is just simply going to be for Archon production. I don't think we're going to see a Storm drop here. He doesn't really need to Storm drop in the position he's in this game. I think he's better off to just solidly transition. You can see Archon's already being morphed for Templar into 2 Archons. And third base is faster. He has the larger army. Well, I guess depending on how you want to look at it. 3 DTs being warped, and Trap got his own Dark Shrine. This is really going to throw stats for a loop.
I think he only has 1 observer.
That's right.
And it's over at the third base. Needs that at home. He needs some kind of detection. He has a Forge.
Trap can just commit to the drop. He doesn't have to worry about these Stalkers. Okay, well, only 2 get out, but still, this is going to be very powerful and annoying to deal with. The Observer is coming back.
Nice. He has it in position now.
If only Trap had him in position with his army, he could try to snipe the third base right now. He's still going to go for it, but he wasn't in position right away. By the time he gets here, stats will be back with his army, so he can't attack into this anymore. A good idea, though, but if he were closer, this could have been so much more powerful. He's still going to attack here into this defensive position from Stats. Stats has 3 Archons in this army.
I don't like
Immortals. This is not a good choice.
There's way too many Archons at the front and a mainly adept army here for Trap. That's going to be a GG. Stats taking game number 1.
Absolutely did not have to attack there, but decided to. And it cost him the game. I'd say Stats was definitely significantly ahead. Maybe that's the reason why he decided to attack, but
yeah, sometimes hard to tell, when you're in the game as well, exactly where you're at in the game, how far ahead, how far behind. He saw the third base was up for Stats. His was later, and he thought, maybe he could split the army and go for an attack with the DTs. Split the army with the DTs and then go for the attack. But didn't quite work out the way he had planned.
Well, here we go, guys. Going into King Sage on Station, Stats was the favorite in this PvP. This is one of his best maps. And Trap showing us some great play, really good hold there at the beginning, but falling behind in the mid game.
Yep, guys, let's jump into game number 2 right now for more PvP.